Wait, could you guys hear me? Okay, so in this class we'll be talking about animals. So we will be learning about animals based off of the biomes that they live in. There are 9 different biomes: the marine biome, freshwater, savanna, grassland, taiga, tundra, desert, temperate forest, and tropical rainforest. So you can write in chat how many biomes you already know about. It's okay if you don't really know any, because that's why we're here to help you learn. Yeah, okay, that's good. Some of you guys already know some of these biomes. So we'll start today by answering any questions you have. Then we can jump right into learning an overview of the biomes. And then we will learn today about the marine biome and the freshwater biome. And then the other few weeks we'll just be learning about the other biomes. We won't just be learning about the biomes, we'll be learning about how the animals can survive in them. So today we will be learning a basic understanding of the 9 different biomes. By the end of this class, you should know about all of the biomes fairly well. Okay. So we will be talking about the marine biome now. The marine biome is a saltwater ecosystem, and it includes all of the oceans and seas. There are many living things in the ocean, such as algae, seaweed, fish, crustaceans, and mammals. When we learn about the marine biome, we will learn it in 2 parts: the coral reefs and the open ocean. The freshwater biome. Freshwater biomes include lakes, rivers, streams, ponds, or any natural place that contains fresh water. There are also many living things such as moss, fish, otters, lily pads, and amphibians like frogs, salamanders, and newts. When we learn about the freshwater biomes, we'll separate it into 3 different sections: just fish, mammals, otters, and bears. And other animals. Now I will be talking about the savanna. The savanna is a dry place. However, the animals have to find water. If they do find water, danger is still like everywhere. The waters are shallow at the edges but deep in the middle, meaning there could be many different predators hiding in the deep. In the grasslands, there are lions and hyenas. The animals must always keep a sharp eye out for predators. In the grasslands, there are lots of animals, but a moderate amount of water, so all the animals have to know where to go if they're thirsty. There are plenty of grass, meaning there are plenty of like herbivores, which also means there are plenty of carnivores. The taiga is a mix of forest and tundra. In fact, a taiga is simply the border of a tundra. Most of the time, meaning it is quite cold there. In the taiga, wolves are the main hunters, but sometimes polar bears come over. Polar bears are extremely aggressive. In the taiga, the prey are moose, rabbits, mice, squirrels, reindeer, and caribou. The tundra. In the tundra, there is nearly always snow. Polar bears hunt fish and seals. The Arctic fox, lemmings, bulls, caribou, Arctic hares, squirrels, wolves, cod, flatfish, salmon, and trout. Tundras have little plants but lots of snow and ice. However, due to global warming, obviously much of the ice is melting, and the animals, especially the polar bear, which spends most of its time at sea, are losing their homes. The desert. The desert is super dry with barely any water. The animals here have to face the heat, lack of water, food, and shelter. In the desert, there are venomous rattlesnakes and Gila monsters. There are foxes, badgers, lizards, and rabbits and mice. We'll be learning about how the desert animals survive in these harsh conditions. The temperate forest. The temperate forest has many trees, animals, and lots of water to support all of the life. Bears hunt fish, wolves hunt deer, rabbits, and fish. The forest has more life than anywhere on the planet. Plenty of berries to eat and animals to hunt. The tropical rainforest is home to some of the most exotic animals. Some animals can only be found in the rainforest, such as toucans, spider monkeys, and many more. The areas often flood, so the animals must know how to deal with overflowing. We'll learn about how animals adapt to the rainforest. So now we will start learning about the marine biome. Or if you have like any questions about the biomes before, then you can ask. Okay. So the marine biome is in salt water. Well, the marine biome is like salt water and has many kinds of animals, mostly saltwater fish. The smaller fish and mammals have homes called coral reefs. The coral reefs has many tropical fish, which are like really bright colored, like fish, and small sharks. The big fish and the big sharks live in the open ocean, where it is more dangerous. The big fish typically don't go into the coral reefs because there are lots of spots for tiny fish to hide in, and the coral reefs are typically near shallow areas, so they might not fit at all. This serves as protection from predators, but there are also predators of the reef like barracudas and eels. The fish are able to escape them because they can swim very fast and are of course small. It is harder to catch smaller fish because they are more like thin and narrow. The open ocean fish like tiger sharks and tuna are big and will eat any animal that are smaller. But like the open ocean fish are also a lot more aggressive and they attack sometimes fish that are the same size or even bigger than them. Now we will be learning about the coral reefs. The reefs are like the houses for little tropical fish like clownfish and zebrafish. There may not be that many predators on the reef, but there are still predators, so the small fish have to be able to swim very fast, and they have stream-like features, meaning they have a shape that helps them move easily through the water. To be able to escape them, they have to have the streamline. So someone asked if the kelp forest is a subdivision of the marine biome. Well, mostly kelp forests, they aren't like coral reefs. They're more in like deep areas. So the kelp forests, they're like really deep, and then they have roots inside of the like sand and the ground, and then they're like really tall so that they reach like the top. But yeah, they're like part of the marine biome. Okay, so yeah, the fish have gills in order to help them breathe underwater because like they need air obviously. There are very few mammals at the reefs, such as dolphins. There are also sea turtles. They do not have gills, so they have to go to the surface to breathe air. So only the fish have gills, and then the other animals like mammals and reptiles, they don't have gills, so they have to go to the surface for air. If you look at the picture above, then you can see that there are many holes that can provide a safe home for the little fish. You can also see that the fish are very thin and have like curved heads that help them move faster. If there are predators chasing them, then they will be able to zip away from danger by hiding into small holes in the reef or by just swimming really fast and away from danger. Now we will move on to the open ocean, where the waters are not shallow. The waters become deeper and there are fewer small fish, but lots of big fish and mammals. The reason why there are no small fish is because there are no places to hide. In the open ocean, there's just a bunch of water and a bunch of predators. So if they have anywhere to hide, they're probably going to get eaten. The coral reefs are not in the open ocean, so there are no holes, no shelter from predators, nothing that can help them. The animals in the open ocean also have to be very fast in order to help them to catch food or to run away from like even bigger animals who are trying to eat them. If the animals are super big and don't really have anything that attack them, then they don't like usually move very fast. For example, like the blue whales, they're the largest mammal on Earth, and it is also like one of the biggest ocean creatures. And it just cruises around the ocean because there isn't really anything trying to eat it. Another way that fish can escape predators is by forming a group called a school. In the picture, you can see all of those fish are all together in a group. This way, the hunter, which is the tuna, will get confused about how to catch it because there are so many. You can also see in the picture that there's no land, meaning there's no safe places. If there are small fish out here, they would have no place to hide because no reefs, no rocks, or even sand. Now that you know about the marine biome, we are going to move on to the freshwater biome. On the next slide, we will be talking about the differences between saltwater areas and freshwater areas. So here's the Venn diagram. So saltwater has a high level of salt, obviously. More saltwater on Earth than There's more saltwater on Earth than freshwater because like all of the oceans around the world are just saltwater ecosystems. And it has some of the most marine life in the world. And then freshwater, it's like completely fresh. It has no salt in it. Has a lot of marine life. Provides all of the world's drinking water, meaning all of the land animals drink from the fresh water. Mostly like mammals and other animals, they don't drink from salt water because like the salt will just make you thirsty. And then they both include water, obviously, and has lots of fish and underwater life. They both have plants. Now we'll be starting the freshwater biome. Pretty much all of the water that land animals drink come from here. The animals don't drink salt water because the salt is bad for their health. The animals that live in the water include fish, snakes, tadpoles, frogs, and many more. They can survive because they can swim. But they can swim. If they can't swim, then they can't get food or run away from predators. So as I said before, we'll be learning about the freshwater biome in 3 different sections: fish, mammals, and other animals. Okay. So the freshwater fish. The fish in freshwater biomes are very fast because there are so many predators, both on land and in water. In the water, there are large fish that will eat the smaller fish. There are many plants and rocks in the freshwater places, so the fish are able to hide in the reeds or duck under rock coverings. The bigger fish also eat small amphibians like frogs. In the water, there are also snakes, like for example in the Amazon rainforest. The river that winds in there has anacondas, huge snakes that eat large fish. There are also alligators and turtles, and many other reptiles that live in the water. The fish in the fresh waters also have similar features to saltwater fish. They have powerful tails and streamlined bodies. This is for hunting and running away from predators. Okay, so someone asked if salmon live in fresh water. So basically so whenever they're eggs, they get hatched in fresh water, and then as they grow older, they move to salt water, like the oceans. And then whenever they get old enough, they swim up, back upstream to their original homes to lay their eggs. So they move from fresh water to salt water and then back to fresh water. And then as soon as they're done laying their eggs, they just die. So yeah, basically it's just fresh water, salt water, fresh water, and then they're gone. Okay, yeah. I'm sorry I got disconnected. But yeah, that's all I really have to say for this.
Don't end the meeting. Don't end the meeting. Because the next person has to come in.
Mm.
You can ask them if they have a question.
So if you have any questions about what I had so far, then you can ask.